The Ordinary Bruja, a teensy tiny story. Part 8. This is a work of fiction. Names, characters, businesses, places, events, and incidents are either the products of the author's imagination or used in a fictitious manner. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. Day 2. The Language of Birds. On the second day, Marisol climbed the hill, greeted once again by the man's quiet presence. He gestured toward a small sparrow perched on a low branch, its beady eyes bright and unblinking. And Marisol hesitated, recalling the night before. I think I talked to a doe, she said cautiously, as if voicing it out loud might make it sound even stranger. The ghostly figure nodded, as though this were perfectly normal. And today you will listen to this bird, he said. And Marisol narrowed her eyes at him, feeling the same frustration bubble up. And what am I supposed to hear? Yet he looked calmly at her. Not just words, Marisol. Hear what it's saying. And with a sigh, she turned towards the bird, trying to silence the doubt gnawing at her thoughts. Then she closed her eyes, letting the soft chirps and fluttering wings fill her senses. And she breathed in deeply, slowly focusing her mind as she tried to reach out to the tiny creature in the same way she had done before, yesterday, with the doe. And at first, all she heard were chirps, disjointed sounds she couldn't quite make sense of. But as she continued to listen, something shifted. A rhythm, a pulse in the sparrow's song that felt familiar, alive. In the silence of her mind, fragments began to form, small, fleeting images. The scatter of seeds on the ground, the warmth of sunlight, the vast, endless sky, the rooftops from the buildings in town. They were snippets, glimpses, slipping away as soon as she noticed them. And Marisol sighed, feeling her grasp slip. Don't try so hard to translate, the figure's voice murmured behind her. His voice was gentle yet grounding. Listen with your heart, not your mind. There's more to language when it comes to understanding. And she took a deep breath, relaxing her shoulders once again, and let go of the need to understand. Instead, she allowed the song to wash over her, unfiltered, as if the sparrow's voice was a melody just for her. And in the quiet acceptance, she felt a glimmer of something, a sense that the bird was speaking to her, recognizing her, acknowledging her presence among them. And when she opened her eyes, the sparrow had flown away, but the feeling lingered, warm and gentle, a soft thread connecting her to the world around her. She still didn't understand fully, but there was a spark of connection, as if something small yet meaningful had opened within her. And for the first time, Marisol felt the weight of her doubt begin to lift, replaced by a quiet, budding confidence. Maybe the ghost was right. Maybe, just maybe, I was more than what I dared to believe. To be continued. Stay tuned for part 9.